Hey, Shabbat Shalom, Yeshua, peace be into the nation of Israel, whom modern day so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American Indians, and speckled Israelites, otherwise known as Israelite foreigners, who look like the heathen, scattered across the four corners of the earth, including within America, Babylon the Great, the main place of our captivity, and we are the most high Yahweh's chosen people of the nation of Israel. So without further ado, as always, in ancient Hebrew, I'm going to go ahead and give all praise, glory, infinite honor to my power, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, who is the God of the living, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Barach, which is our praise to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, in the name of his only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, and the Holy Spirit, who is our strength and our Redeemer, and our light and our salvation. In the same tongue, in ancient Hebrew, we're going to go to Mashanah, Kabawadim, Lahasakwanim, Shalom, Warabakab, many double honors to the apostles and elders, great millstone on down, and Shalom and salutation to by Yashad, without the house of David. Spell Seven Malak Rayash back at it, giving another edition of Global Events and Entire Prophecy on the date of April 9, 2024, within the conclusion of the solar eclipse that took place yesterday. Another omen of the downfall of the self-proclaimed white man, Esau, eating the devil the Bible speaks of. All right, while these people were, while this devil, all right, on behalf of the wicked international crime banking families and these lower luminaries were stargazing and prognosticating, over the signs in the heavens. Okay, including those who are feeding off the energy of the solar eclipse on the left-hand side to further, open up these portals to the CERN, particle conductor, and the little satanic rituals, shooting rockets towards the direction of the eclipse on behalf of NASA and so forth. All right, Yahweh Shemashai is mocking you warlocks. Okay, the throne of iniquity. Okay, all right. By further publicly displaying your downfall before your very eyes, man. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and start off here in the book of St. Matthew 16:1. It says, the Pharisees also with the Sadducees came and tempting desired him that he would shew them a sign from heaven. And before I go ahead and let me go ahead and share my screen, Salakia. And Salakia in advance for any buffering, any excessive buffering that goes on. It took me about a good, hour and a half or so to get this lesson up and running, so Yahweh Shem and Shabbat Tazah, I'll be able to go ahead and stream successfully. But I'm going to go ahead and share the screen. I'll bring out some articles and other information to filter everything in the biblical prophecy. Adam Ratazah is further edifying his order to elect. So back in St. Matthew 16:1, it says, the Pharisees also with the Sadducees came and tempting desired him that he would shew them a sign from heaven. All right, and it's a wicked the wicked of Israel, all right, the chief priests and the wicked Pharisees and Sadducees, okay, of the nation of Israel, okay, wolves in sheep's clothing, who were essentially mocking Yahushua to his face, okay, but about being crafty, trying to trip him up on his words. Because they were faithless. Those were faithless efforts on behalf of these wolves in sheep's clothing, and they've been reincarnated, just like the righteous prophets and other members of the elect have been reincarnated. Okay, so St. Matthew 16:2 says, he answered and said it to them, when it is evening, ye say it will be fair weather, for the sky is red. Verse 3, and in the morning it will be foul weather today, for the sky is red and lowering. O ye hypocrites, ye can discern the face of the sky, but can ye not discern the signs of the times? Here's the point of verse 4. It says, a wicked and adulterous generation seeketh after a sign, and there shall no sign be given into it, but the sign of the prophet Jonas, and he left them and departed. Okay, well, that sign of the prophet Jonas was the end of Assyria, the bloody sea, which is another spiritual alias for America, man. Like he speaks about in 2nd Ezra, the 16th chapter, mentioning Babylon, Egypt, and Syria, okay, which are all aliases to America, Babylon the Great, okay, and the further omen of the destruction of this place, okay, because the prophet Jonah, okay, our forefather, the prophet Jonah, was sent to Nineveh, the capital of Assyria, to prophesy the destruction against the Assyrians, or that bloody nation, okay, which in modern day Assyrians are these Edomites, bloodshedders, like it says in Psalm 55th chapter, and this is why Bibi Netanyahu was talking about, bringing forth a specific date, to conquer Rafah, okay, which really in the Hebrew is pronounced Rapayah, okay, which is within that Rafah border crossing between Egypt and the Gaza Strip, Okay. So further going into why that is, we're going to bring out some more information on that. You go hit the Twitter feed real quick, or X, and I'm going to bring out some information in that particular area. This is a comment by Nahum Goldman. Says the condom hats might have Uganda, Madagascar, and other places for the establishment of a condom hat fatherland, but they wanted absolutely nothing except Palestine, which Palestine is really, uh, Palestine is, really derives back to the word Philistine. Okay. Further confirms you devils don't belong in that land because the Philistines are Hamites. All right. But it says not because the Dead Sea water by evaporation can produce $5 trillion of metalloids and powdered metals. Okay. So there's further confirms why, the real reason why these devils, inhabit and conquer these particular lands because of their resources. It has nothing to do with their guise of humanitarianism, where they're proposing and proclaiming to the world that they're in these particular areas that don't belong to them, under the best interests of these people. Meanwhile, they're afraid of compromising their sovereignty, okay, and their security, their national security. All right, and this is why you got Iran and Iraq, in particular, dragons of Arabia, prophesied in Second Ezra 15th chapter, and then modern day Asia coast. All right, modernly known as the Middle East, that are rising up against this devil and threatening to destroy him because of his interference in their sovereignty, national security, man. Okay, like it says in Micah, the 2nd chapter, and so forth. All right, so it says here, not because the Dead Sea water by evaporation could produce $5 trillion of metalloids and powdered metals on behalf of Palestine. Then he goes on to say, not because the subsoil of Palestine contains 20 times more petroleum than all the combined reserves of the two Americas, but because Palestine is the crossroads of Europe, Asia, okay, and Africa, because Palestine constitutes the veritable center of world political power, the strategic center for world control. And there's a real reason why they're down there, for embarking on that proxy war in Gaza, similar to the one in Ukraine and the one in the others, including the ones in, within the South China Sea, in the Pt.1 Strait on behalf of that Taiwanese proxy, okay, and these other proxies, man. That's why forget the name of that country in Africa, but Burkina Faso, something like that, and they have been openly speaking about expelling the French and the other Edomites in the land for them being further exposed on their on their presence in those lands, specifically in Africa, to steal their resources, man, to exhaust and exacerbate their resources, just like they did in America during the Spanish Inquisition. Okay, stealing the gold, the oil, the cattle, and so forth from the so-called indigenous from the Northern Kingdom, man. Okay, so you devils being further exposed, and this is the real reason why Baby was talking about conquering Rafah down there in Gaza. Okay, another, in which in these other, end time, prophecies taking place, because this further indicates the end of the Edomites. Okay, so these are the signs of the times, man, of these omens that how I spoke about. Okay, so I'm going to grab Nahum chapter 3. I'm going to start from the top, and it says, soon as it loads up, barely one moment, Baba Shah. Let me see something real quick. All right, there we go. Nahum 3 and 1. It says, woe to the bloody city. It is all full of lies and robbery. The prey departeth not. Okay, and that goes into the foundation of America. Okay, predicated off of carnality and witchcraft, all Edomite God complex ideals. Because the devil, okay, was created to steal, murder, and destroy, like it says in St. John 10 chapter. Now to further, tie Nineveh of Assyria with America, according to biblical prophecy, you're going to bring out some some spiritual information on this article, theroot.com, entitled "The Warnings of Pastors and Prophets About the Eclipse." All right. April 8th isn't just a special day to look up at the sky. Pastors say it's a warning from the Most High. When they say God. Okay. Because chapter, they were not Heavenly Father. Because all they do is, all they're really notorious for is, preaching that prosperity doctrine. They don't, and they're not really known to prophesy. I know this by experience going to the churches. All they do is hoot and holler up there in the pulpit, okay, bring out a few scriptures and put you to sleep and then sing songs, okay. So now all of a sudden, like one of the Akim recently said, everyone wants to be a prophet, man, okay, because they know that there's power tied to this book. And that's what that movie, the Book of Eli, was about. Okay, so these people are, these people are, reprobate silver, man. Right? And the Lord Yahweh Shemashah not dealing with these people. But yet, like it says in Acts 2:17, the Spirit of the Lord, by Yahweh by Shemashah, by Shemar Kodash, okay, is heavy on the world through the spirit of prophecy, the testimony of Hamashiach Yahushua, to the point to where these prophecies, these end time prophecies, okay, are hard to ignore, even for those who are, tied, sleep and marvel after this beast system, are really noticing these end signs, man, or these omens. It says what's really going on Monday, April 8th. I'm sure by now you've seen every report possibly detailing the science and details of the total solar eclipse. The first we'll see since August 27, according to NASA. However, a handful of pastors and prophets say it's more than just a celestial marvel. They say it's God sending the U.S. a warning. Exactly, because America, okay, is modern day Assyria, the U.S. Going to further confirm that. Okay, so jumping down here, it says, now here's where it gets even more interesting. NASA's map of the April 8th eclipse shows its path across in the U.S. from the opposite direction of the last. This one's path is projected to cross the states from the south of Texas to the northeast, covering another 7 cities. Okay, 7, very symbolic, very spiritual for 7 and symbolic of completion, man. Further confirming that the Heavenly Father Yahweh is visiting the earth through his plagues. Okay, famine, pestilence, rumors of wars, full-fledged wars, okay, strange calamities, okay, like these earthquakes in diverse places, like that 6.6 magnitude earthquake that was recently reported down in Indonesia, okay, in the midst of all these other, in the midst of the other plethora of, earthquakes and strange calamities, further, pointing to the signs of the end of the wicked. Okay, so it says, it says this one's path is projected to cross the states from the south of Texas to the northeast, covering another 7 cities with the same name, Nineveh. Okay, within the states of Texas, Missouri, Indiana, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Virginia, New York. Okay. Now, what really got interesting to me is where it mentioned here. However, what these leaders noted is a path distinctly covered 7 cities named Salem, which translates to peace or covenant in Hebrew. And really, Salem is an English transliteration of the Hebrew word shalom, which means peace. Okay. So, for the fact that there's obviously no peace in America, because the wages of sin is death and the gift of life is eternal through Hamashiach Yahushua Lord, and people don't prescribe to Yahushua. Okay. And that's why St. John 3:36, he speaks about those who are going to be given to wrath who don't believe in Yahushua, because they're not worshiping the Lord, the Most High, name's only begotten Son, in faith, truth, and sincerity. Okay, as it says in St. John the 4th chapter, that the elect will do in these last days. So this is another spiritual omen that this solar eclipse that took place yesterday, okay, passed over 7 areas named Salem, because Salem is another term associated with witchcraft, going back to the originating back to the Salem witch trials in Massachusetts, where in the 19th century, Esau had 19 people lynched for being found guilty of witchcraft. Okay, satanic rituals of witchcraft. Okay, so at least he got that part right, but he's a hypocrite, because now in Salem, Massachusetts, okay, in various places in America, they got Baphomet statues of witchcraft. Okay, promoting the satanic vibration of Shaitan. You know what I'm saying? They're promoting after school Satan programs, literally. Okay. going as far back as 2016, as far as I can remember. And then they have Transformers reading to these children in these schools. Okay, further pushing that spirit of rebellion. Another vibration of witchcraft, a satanic vibration of witchcraft, like it says in the Book of Samuel, where how rebellion is a sin of witchcraft, and this is what is prevalent in America, man. Rebellion, within that satanic theme of "do's thou wilt," modeling known modeling known as liberty and justice for all. Okay, coined by Aleister Crowley, a top warlock. Okay, who believed in the highest form of witchcraft through sodomy of a little boy. Okay, so that further confirms there's no peace coming to America, and this is what that solar eclipse and these major phenomenons and signs and strange wonders and Sirach the 36th chapter and so forth further represent, and that's the destruction of the wicked. All right, including those who indulge in witchcraft, and this is why Exodus 22:8 it says, "Thou shalt not suffer a witch to live," because really a witch is supposed to be burned, but you got witches in a Wiccan, you got Wiccans in the military, which are witches, okay, occultists and so forth. You got Freemasons, which are also occultic witches and warlocks. So this place is this further ties into Nahum 3 and 4. All right, and it reads, "Because of the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot, the mistress of witchcrafts, that selleth nations through her whoredoms and families through her witchcrafts." And that's why the IMF was looking to remove the funding from Ghana, Salakia, for them, refusing to endorse the alphabet mafia through sodomy, man. And this is why, Putin, I'm going to bring this out. All right, on Reuters, it says Russia adds alphabet mafia movement to list of extremist and terrorist organizations. All right, it says on March 22nd. Okay, oddly enough, this came out on Skull and Bones Day. It says Russia has added what it calls the the alphabet mafia to a list of extremist and terrorist organizations. State media said on Friday. All right, and it said representatives of the Moes and Transformer people said they feared would lead to arrests and prosecutions. All right, so, and then you have, and there's a lot of, and then you have this situation here. Report on azcentral.com. It says, you see what it says here. Okay. Abortion ban is law. Arizona Supreme Court upholds a 160-year-old ban. All right, it says, let me see if there's more information on this article. What else? Pretty much the synopsis on that article. Basically, what the Arizona Supreme Court is looking to do is further uphold the ban on this, okay, which is modern day, sacrifice to Baal Molech, where people were sacrificing, themselves as human sacrifices, blood rituals to Baal Molech, and then that's why Esau resurrected the temple of Baal down there in New York, and when people start getting privy to what he was doing, he changed it to the Ark of Nemesis. So that further confirms that America is modern day Assyria, okay, the bloody city of carnality and witchcraft. All right, that's why that solar eclipse passed over 7 different towns with the name of Salem, okay, which is further tied into witchcraft, okay. That's why this place is doomed. That's what that solar eclipse further represents: darkness upon those who dwell in darkness, iniquity, sin upon sin. So we have people crying, like including that CBS news anchor that the elder Atazawam had further reported on in one of his last lessons. These various, other news anchors, man or woman crying, along with these other Babylonians crying, because this supposedly the sighting of the solar eclipse, further, supposedly represented like a time where everyone could, put all their differences to the side and band together and be unified in the spirit of folly and mirth, and through stargazing is of exactly that. Okay, folly and mirth, man. Okay, all right, because these people don't understand what these signs mean. All right, they're privy to what they could mean, but they don't have any faith to acknowledge what they mean, and that's the downfall of America, because America promotes the false deception living through pleasing the flesh. So that's why Esau's further marketing off of the solar eclipse event through festivities and so forth, making money, generating money off of it. Okay, just like he does with these holidays. Okay, and so forth. Okay, so over here on this article, on daily news. Let's make sure I'm good. Slovakia. Make sure I'm rolling. In the meantime, I'm going to continue. It says, the Vatican strongly criticized surrogacy and gender-affirming procedures as grave violations of human dignity in an explosive new document clarifying the position of the Catholic Church on several themes. Okay, so essentially, he's saying this is about, pursuing Deuteronomy 23:1, how it forbids a man to cut off his stones, his rod and stones, is an abomination to the Lord. But that makes Pope Francis, except for the explosive Pope Francis, a hypocrite, because he's the same one that claimed that the Heavenly Father gave him permission to alter the Ten Commandments. I mean, the so-called Ten Commandments, because there's really 613 of them. Okay? Case in point. All right? The same one who has endorsed the mark of the beast being a microchip. And now, he's further, he's further acknowledging that this is an abomination, man. A man cutting off his rod and stones. Okay, a woman taking testosterone pills and getting a procedure, you know what I'm saying, or where she has an artificial rod, you know what I'm saying? So that further confirms that the spirit of bondage, pursuing Isaiah the 19th chapter, modern day Egypt, is wearing off through that wine of fornication, man. Esau's Western philosophy promoting all kinds of madness and perverseness, man. Okay, wickedness. That's why the book of Job says, this devil drinks iniquity like water. And this is why Yahweh by Shemashai is visiting your world that was temporarily given into your hands, pursuing Job, the 9th chapter, and so forth, okay, with his plagues, man, okay, and the omens of plagues coming to you, okay. See, there's another one. Here's more foolishness and folly, man. It says hundreds of couples getting married during solar eclipse. And that for the lines of St. Matthew 24, okay, where it said, just like in the times of Noah, these people will be, matter of fact, go and grab that real quick. So this further confirms that the Bible is a book of prophecy, man. Okay, the word prophesy means the same before, to declare. Pursuing Isaiah 42:9, Yahweh by Shemashah said, before these things spring forth, I tell you of them. Okay, Shabbat Shalom to all those tuning in. Yahweh by Shemashah B'Katam. All right, so I'm going to grab St. Matthew 24. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and grab this real quick by the brother Amriah. Shalom, Isaiah 39. They shew their countenance doth witness against them, and they declare their sin as Sodom. They hide it not. Woe unto their soul, for they have rewarded evil unto themselves. And I'm really talking about Jake, you know what I'm saying? But the natural Gentiles, the heathen, including the Edomites, okay, are no exception to this prophecy, man. Okay, because we taught the wicked their ways, like it says in Jeremiah 2nd chapter, beginning back to where was I? Getting back to this prophecy, St. Matthew 24, and I'm going to start at verse 36. And he reads, but of that day and hour knoweth no man, no, not the angels of heaven, but my Father only. So even Yahushai, the Alpha and Omega, all right, the Son of Man doesn't even know when the Heavenly Father going to return, will send him, have him return back into this world to redeem the children of Israel from these curses, man. But he knows an indication, just like, which is of the mysteries of heaven given to his saints. Like it says in St. John 3:27, Amos 3:7, and so forth. St. Matthew 24:37 reads, but as the days of Noah were, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. Here's a point. Verse 38, for as in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying, okay, marrying and giving in marriage until the day that Noah entered into the ark. And this is this particular incident, or this particular situation here is is further indicative of prophecy being further fulfilled. Like it says here, hundreds of couples getting married during solar eclipse. It was reported down in Arkansas. Okay, a total of at least 358 couples all said "I do," quote unquote, giving a whole new meaning to the phrase "total eclipse of the heart." And really, that modern day wicked act of so-called marriage is really idolatry. And I forget the name of that god or deity that ring goes back to, but that's idolatry, man. People don't even know that collectively. Okay, these are further strongholds, stumbling blocks of the wicked that are being torn down by the Holy Spirit of the Word of Yahweh by Shemashai through the Spirit of prophecy, man. Case in point. Say Matthew 24:39. And knew not until the flood came and took them all away, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. Because this modern day flood is going to be that lake of fire, that second death, and to burn up all those who are wicked, who will remain before the presence of the Lamb, and especially those who take that chip, the mark of the beast. And speaking of which, we're going to speak on that real quick. This is on this is what this guy Ryan from the Last American Vagabond platform is talking about. When Esau kicked him off of YouTube because he was going in on the dragon juice and exposing that. So now he does his own independent thing. But this is an article on MSN entitled "Bar Strike," and that's not, this ain't it, Slakia. Let me see where it's at. So like I thought I had it up here. Let me see if it's over here. Yeah, here it is, Slakia. This is on the LastAmericanVagabond.com. It says, blending reality, the World Economic Forum calls for creation of metaverse identity and latest push for digital dystopia. The latest, it says, on March 12th, the World Economic Forum released a new report called Metaverse Identity, defining a self and a blended reality, which is ostensibly aimed at exploring the apparent need for a metaverse identity. The document, written in partnership with corporate firm Accenture, calls for collaborative, interdisciplinary strategy to navigate identity challenges. You see, the so-called identity challenges, and this is why they're using their Hegelian dialectic to further incite the fear in these Babylonians and these pro-patriotic, individuals in America, okay, to worry about their national security, centered around this whole border crisis / migrant surge, okay, and so forth, in the midst of all these pestilences like the bird flu and all that, where they're looking to use these things to further justify shutting down this current monetary system and regulating everyone through this chip. And this is why it was the same Satanic Council through the World Economic Forum that said that CBDCs should be implanted under people's skin, okay, a few months ago. And they were really talking about the chip, but they're using code terms, man. They use these precursors of what they're really promoting, including the dragon juice, okay, further setting the tone of human regulation, okay, through psyops, okay. So like, speaking of which, like it came out, Reprobate had made this comment here. This is on newsbreak.com. It said a total solar eclipse failed to bring about the end times. I'm disappointed. A lot of people were expecting, things to happen yesterday. They're expecting Yahushua to come back. They're expecting, people to just bug out and be all zombified, what I'm saying, and so forth. But these people are not in tune with the prophecies, because the next major prophecy to take place before Yahushua returns and the mark of the beast being implemented by the wicked elite. Okay, so this everything that's happening is within the path of the ship being implemented, man, including that ship that bridge down there in Baltimore, Oklahoma rather, Slacky. It says barge strike on Oklahoma bridge echoes a Baltimore Key Bridge disaster. There was a barge, which is basically like a freight ship that carries goods and services that collided with the Oklahoma bridge. Okay, shortly after that, Francis Scott Key Bridge collapsed down in Baltimore. Shortly after that, bridge down there in Ohio set ablaze, or there was a fire set ablaze near that Ohio bridge. Okay, so around the same time where it was reported that the infrastructural integrity of that bridge down in New York was compromised, man. So this is gonna, like the Baltimore mayor, admitted, this is gonna, these particular occurrences of this polycrisis, these polycrisis incidents are going to further contribute into, it's going to further contribute to, the economy further suffering, man. Okay, further driving up, hyperinflation. That's why down there in California, there's a particular pizza place, all right, that is shutting its doors. Okay, and a lot of them people down in California are going out of business. Like this particular food chains going out of business because they can't handle the load of what Esau is doing with the economy, man. This is it says a pizza chain closes California locations before a minimum wage law took effect. All right. And yeah, it's Foster's. It's called Foster's, I believe. On the Slack, it's called Mod Pizza. All right. So another insight of the end. All right. So going back to this article here, it says like it's entitled "The Total Solar Eclipse Failed to Bring About the End Times. I'm Disappointed." It says, like most Americans, I was banking on a solar eclipse ushering in the end times and saving me from the unbearable horrors of a presidential election year and the general absurdity of human existence. But much ballyhooed eclipse came and went, and nothing. The lights came back on, the land remained unblighted, and America continued to exist. Nary a locust to be found. So this individual is obviously being facetious, but it won't be funny when darkness actually comes. Because people think, the vast majority of people think that everything is a joke because they got running water, they got running electricity, running gas. You see, they got liberty to be brute beasts. Okay, until Yahweh Shemashai allows his sword, the left hand side Esau, to pull a plug on this place. Many people are going to be calling on a God you don't even believe in. That's when he's going to laugh at you in the face of your calamity. Says clearly this was a huge disappointment. It's like the groundhog telling us we have 6 more weeks of winter. Only this was the sun telling us we have to continue existing for an indefinite period of time in a world where people think random doses of horse the warmer are safer than dragon juices. All right. So they, once again, that's their way of being facetious because the so-called, end of the world didn't happen. When they just said in say Matthew 24, Howard Shaw didn't even know when the end of the wicked is going to come. Okay. So back in the initial article, all right, on the warnings of past and prophets about the eclipse. Let me get some more information here. Yeah, they quoted Genesis 1:14, and God said, Yahweh said, "Let there be lights in the firmament." Let me go plug this in real quick. And the Most High God, Yahweh said, "Let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years." Okay, so that is what the purpose of the lights in heaven is for to represent. Okay, the dividing of time, including the day from the night, and symbolically, day represents, a day of a time of no trouble, and the night represents darkness, and that's why Yahushua said, I must work the works of him that sent me, while it is day, the night cometh when no man can work, because this is further, omen that Jacob's trouble is coming, man, the persecution of the saints. We've seen the second Ezra 16 chapter, man. That's why these devils are burning Bibles, okay, in Europe, down here in Babylon, like that, including down here in Tennessee, okay, because they're getting ready to they're getting ready to outlaw the Bible, man. Okay, because of the Holy Spirit of the word of Yahweh Shemashai, this gospel is tearing them up. It's further tearing down the stronghold and stumbling blocks and revealing them to be the devil the Bible has prophesied, man. Okay, so the forger of lies is through his enchantments, and he's upset about it. So now he's coming down great wrath, knowing that he has but a short time, further relying on left-hand energy, okay, through these satanic councils, through NASA and CERN and whatnot, to open the portals where demons, will come out. But the spiritual demon Shaitan, the leader of these demons, okay, is not really answering this devil anymore. Okay, and eventually he's not going to answer this devil anymore. And speaking of that, bring out this report that took place, where this bug out Eve in Florida started bugging out. This is on cbaustin.com. It said Georgia woman shoots drivers, says God told her to. She said God told her to because of eclipse. So going back to this initial article, where you had individuals playing around, okay, on this particular article here, entitled "The Total Solar Eclipse Failed to Bring About the End Times. I'm Disappointed." Well, now what do you have to say? Because this actually happened, whether she was set up to do this or not. She looks bugged out. Okay, so this doesn't appear to be orchestrated. Okay, not for to go into that prophecy in Deuteronomy 20 and 28, where it said the Lord Yahweh Hashem Shah would smite our minds with madness, man, and especially Eve, because the woman is deprived of wisdom. Okay. So let me go ahead and bring this out. I don't write this out. All right, bear with me. It says a Georgia woman shot drivers on a Florida interstate Monday, saying that God told her to because of the eclipse, according to the Holmes County Sheriff's Office. 22-year-old Taylor Nichelle Celestine of Georgia checked out of a Florida hotel and told staff that she was going on a God-directed shooting, according to the Florida Highway Patrol. All right. And that's exactly what she did. All right. It said Celestine entered the highway 150 miles from the Alabama border in the Florida Panhandle and headed west. She fired into a passing car several times, spraying fire at a second vehicle, hitting the driver in the neck. And the element spoke about the terror that happened to Egypt. Okay, where Yahweh Shemashai, okay, was bringing forth these apparitions, man. That's why these devils remade the Ghostbusters movie. Okay, they didn't make that movie. They didn't make that movie for fun. They're further using these predictive programming platforms, productions to further push out their agenda out there. This is on healthyholisticliving.com. It says doomsday clock is closest it's ever been to Armageddon in 2024 update. All right. I'm going to bring some information out here. It says the doomsday clock, a chilling symbol of humanity's proximity to self-destruction, stands at its most perilous position ever set. Established in 1947 by atomic scientists, including the iconic Albert Einstein, the clock serves as a stark reminder of the existential threats we face. All right. Let me jump down a bit. All right, so that's pretty much it. So Esau is saying it's closest. The doomsday clock is closest to doomsday, which destruction of America through Harmageddon than ever before. Another ending time, prophecy or omen. Okay, so I'm gonna go back here. All right, I'm going to bring out some more precepts. So I'm going to go ahead and continue in Nahum 3 and 5. All right, bear with me one moment, Baba Kasha. This is back in Nahum chapter 3. I'm going to continue in verse 5. And it reads, behold, I am against thee, said the Lord, Yahweh of hosts, and I will discover thy skirts upon thy face, and I will shew the nations thy nakedness and the kingdoms thy shame. Okay, that's exactly what Yahweh Shemashai doing, man. Okay, and this is why, where's that? I'm going to bring this out on Twitter. All right. Yeah, this individual here said the support of Islamic terrorists by Western security agencies. See United Nations report. Israel has been materially aiding ISIS. All right, these so-called militant groups, okay, that they deem as terrorists are funded by the U.S. Okay, endorsed and supported by the U.S. and the Israeli Mossad. It said this is a moment when our governments and controlled mainstream media and narrative. Slovakia, Shatan. Give me 1 second. Where was I? See, just barely 1 moment. Here we go. So it says this is a moment when our governments and control mainstream media narrative on the war on terror has officially lost all credibility and begins to resemble a Walt Disney production. Besides, how many more times can the American Air Force accidentally, quote unquote, drop weapons to ISIS/ISIL in Syria or Iraq's Anbar province. And in 2015, the Iraqis shot down both British and U.S. Air Force planes delivering weapons and equipment to ISIS. That's one way to keep a U.S. military presence in a country as all controlled opposition. Says secretly enable the very terrorist groups you're there to assist with eradicating. Why do you think Iraqi parliamentarians stood up and demanded the U.S. military leaves Iraq? How do you accidentally ship 3,000 tons of weapons to ISIS via Croatia? All right. And this is how they justify targeting these these individuals in the so-called Middle East, modern day Asia. And this is why came out that the Yemenis, on behalf of representing on behalf of the Houthi rebel group, have informed Iran that if there is a regional war, more than 400,000 fighters are ready to completely blockade the Red Sea and target U.S. bases in Africa and the Middle East. The Yemenis have recruited 200,000 new fighters since the start of the conflict. And Esau just recently eliminated a Lebanese commander. Let me go and bring that out. You bring that out here. All right, one moment, Bob Kashad. Yeah, this is on World is One platform. It says the Israelis, okay, deletes or eliminates senior Hezbollah commander and strike on southern Lebanon. It says the Israeli military on Monday, April 8th, launched a strike on southern Lebanon and eliminated a senior commander, warned that the artillery bombardment was outspreading, further calling for the warring sides to halt the violence. The Israeli military and Hezbollah have been engaged in an exchange of fire across Lebanon's southern frontier, parallelly along with the ongoing war in Gaza, which has raised fears of an escalation of the conflict across the Middle East. And that further ties into 2nd Ezra, the 16th chapter. Okay, we're going to grab that through the Spirit. 2nd Ezra 16,